Good day, warm welcome to this meditation session. My name is Judy, and of course, you are you, and it's wonderful that you are here. Together, we're going to explore a topic that certainly is central in my day-to-day life, but can sometimes be a little controversial or challenging even to wrap our heads around this idea of discipline as love. And I myself, at least in this birth, if you will, have had a lot of exposure to discipline. Now, when we say discipline, I think some even have images of, the principal with the ruler as kind of hitting the hand to enforce some discipline, some punitive aspects to discipline. I know recently I had to be in a high school, which I haven't done for decades. And when I walked in, the host, the one greeting me, said, "Oh, and here's our principal, Mrs. So-and-so." And I could feel that an immediate reaction, discipline, the principal's office. I've done something bad. Not to say that I was some sort of rebel in school, but I think those are some of the issues that might be inside around discipline. But for myself, being involved in an artistic endeavor, this case, dance and piano, or even a spiritual journey, it develops such a beautiful relationship with discipline. I really love this quality because I think it's essential to nurturing the best within the self. I just don't think it's possible without that structure, that discipline. And quite frankly, each and every one of us has some sort of discipline. We might have the discipline of, I will sleep until noon every day. So it's an interesting discipline, but it is a discipline nonetheless. Or I will eat 5 chocolate bars before 5 o'clock p.m. every day. I'm trying not to project at this point. But again, these strange disciplines we might have, but they're there. So the question, of course, is this a discipline? Whatever I'm embracing, is it honoring my highest potential? Because there's a deep connection between operating in alignment with our highest potential and our own happiness. Perhaps another day we can explore that, but there is a deep connection between those two things. We are happy when we honor our highest potential. That's the bottom line. So I need to figure out a way to do that. I need things in my life that will support and nurture that. So let's go inside and see if we can create a nice experience, a loving experience for the self around what's essential, that self-discipline. Sitting comfortably. And again, always the invitation to experiment with the eyes open in a natural way. I take a moment just to really settle into the space. Perhaps my first step in discipline is the art of being present for the self, 100% present for the self. It's quite a delicious experience to give the self 100% of my own attention, not fragmented on different tasks or different roles or responsibilities or time, but I am fully here for the self. And that frees me to easily go inwards with an assignment. I want to unpack and discover the beauty behind discipline. And so I bring in front of my mind's eye the image of a seed, a single, tiny, simple seed, holding it in the palm of my mind's hand. That seed. Now I am aware there's so much potential in that seed. Within that seed, there is something beautiful waiting to emerge. Perhaps a beautiful flower or a fruit, something so spectacular is merged in that seed potential. But it's not enough just to hold it in the hand and admire it and think about it. I want to experience the potential within that seed. So the first thing I do, I plant the seed in the ground, in the earth, underground. Put that seed underground in the warmth of the soil, making sure to plant it deep enough that it has space to create deep roots. Deep roots. That way, it will be able to sustain itself if it has a good foundation. So that discipline of planting the seed deep. But that's not enough either. I'll have to warm the seed and water the seed. We call it taking care of the seed. And so I start to warm the seed, that sunlight, make sure it has exposure to the warmth of the sun. And I also want to water the seed, making sure to give it at a frequency where it's not oversaturated, it's not drowning, and it's not underwatered, it's not starving, just the right amount that the seed can absorb. A schedule of watering. And I always enjoy just giving good vibrations to the seed. I believe in you, little seed. Lots of loving attitude and feelings. And at first, nothing happens. Nothing. Or so it seems. But of course, a lot is happening. It's just my eye cannot quite detect it. So I don't jump ship. I don't give up on this care. I know that roots are being set in the soil. Things are happening in that seed. Potential is being unlocked. I continue to warm and water and believe in that seed. And then one day, due to that care, something magical happens. A little sprout emerges above ground. I am, of course, ecstatic. And this only encourages me to keep caring for the seed very carefully at the right rate, in the right way. And the seed continues to grow. The potential emerges. A beautiful plant continues to grow and grow as I continue to care. And what was the secret of going from seed to that floral expression? The discipline of care. That discipline was my expression of care and love for the seed, valuing the seed. We each are like that seed. Within me and every human soul, there is a great potential, something beautiful waiting to emerge, just needing the right care. Discovering what warms the human spirit, what waters the human spirit. As it turns out, we respond very well to the warmth of pure love. And this is why so many are pulled to connect to God, the most pure of love that can water the human soul, create that warmth, unlock hearts. And I also need a lot of wisdom, understanding about the self at just the right frequency. Learning about the self as a soul, as a seed, and taking time to absorb that learning. That helps me to grow a lot. We all grow at different rates, so I never compare myself to another seed. I absorb honestly and deeply at my own pace. And of course, the attitude towards myself, I believe in myself. Just as I believed in that non-living seed, I believe in myself. That potential is in there. It's as if I have a vision of that highest potential of the self. It's not a physical vision, it's qualitative. The qualities or character of the self. The qualities I express when I am at my highest potential, how I act towards others, towards the natural elements, and even towards myself. Patient, kind, respectful. We call them core values. They describe my highest potential. Unconditional. I believe that within myself. So every day, do I care for myself? Do I expose myself to that light, that spiritual light, the divine love of God? Being loved for who I am, not who I am not. being loved as a soul? And do I water myself with spiritual understanding? Allow myself to absorb it, not just intellectually, but really experience it. It becomes real for me. Do I give myself that time? And do I always, even in the face of mistakes and setbacks, do I always believe in myself and the highest potential within? It's a discipline of self-care, an expression of self-love. And that discipline will allow the seed of the self to blossom, emerge that highest potential, which creates happiness within my own heart. Om Shanti.